Welcome back to Binge-Worthy Network. Imagine being friends with a celebrity and getting $1 million as a gift. This is the story of how George Clooney gifted his closest 14 friends the gift of a lifetime. George Clooney has been a true Hollywood A-lister for decades now, from his successful TV series on ER to the blockbuster franchise of Ocean's 11. Clooney has been adored by millions around the world. Not only is the father of two an incredibly talented actor and producer, but he is a notorious prankster too. George has made a name for himself as being a bad boy of Hollywood, but in the best possible way. Mr. Clooney was also known as a Golden Globe bachelor because people assumed no woman would be lucky enough to be by George's side. Well, as many already know, that has all changed when he married the human activist and lawyer Amal Clooney. But apart from being a great husband and father, George is an amazing friend. Let's talk about the secret story of how George gifted 14 of his closest friends $1 million. Yes, you most definitely heard that right. Even though this happened in 2013, the news of this only became present 4 years ago, later in 2017. So, which friend let the cat out of the bag? It was none other than Cindy Crawford's husband, Randy Gerber. The businessman and Clooney's loyal friend painted a picture of what happened that night. Apparently, the movie star has a friendship called The Boys. We still, to this day, do not know who is exactly in the group, but we have a feeling one or two were celebrities on that list, and we will make speculations to who they are a little bit later in this video. So, on that fateful 2013 night, George has called up Randy and the rest of the gang to share some news. Being the prankster and mysterious man he is, George didn't say what the news would be, but he gave one simple hint. He told his friends to mark September 27th, 2013 on their calendars because it would be a night no one could forget. He explained how he would be waiting for the boys at his home, and that's all they knew. Eventually the day came, September 27th, 14 of George's closest friends gathered in the house for a nice meal and some laughs. Randy explains how mysterious the whole night was. The businessman remembers entering the actor's house and seeing black suitcase all around in a circular fashion. The friends, of course, had no idea what was going on, but thankfully, Clooney finally opened up about the very special surprise. Randy remembers George saying, "Listen, I want to thank you guys for how much you meant to me and how much you mean to me in my life. I came to Hollywood, I slept on your couch, and I am so fortunate in my life to have you all as friends. I could not be where I am today without you. So this is really important to me that while we're still all here on Earth, that I give back. So I want you all to open your suitcases." And then when the friends opened the suitcases, they found $1 million stacked in $20 bills. Randy and the rest of the boys were so shocked, they could barely express their feelings. The businessman recalls, every one of us, 14 of us, got $1 million. Every single one of us. We're in shock, like, what is this? And he goes, "I know we're all been through some hard times. Some of you still going through it. So you don't have to worry about your kids, you don't have to worry about your schools, and you don't have to worry about paying your mortgages." Imagine going to George's house and leaving with $1 million in cash, all tax-free. As you can see, Clooney was revealed to be one of the most generous celebrities of his generation. The 59-year-old clearly knew how to thank his friends and all the times they supported the struggling actor. George's incredible gift is an example how you should be thankful for your friends and those who have supported you through all those hard times. And while some of us don't have $1 million in cash to spare, all kinds of gestures are a good way of showing your love and support. But there was one friend who especially was thankful for George's amazing and unbelievable gift. According to Randy, George has a friend who has been with him through thick and thin. And unlike all the other famous friends and businessmen that surrounded Clooney, this particular friend was not living a glamorous life. He was working at a bar in Texas at an airport trying to support his family, riding a bike every single day. It's safe to say that that friend left with tears in his eyes as he had to thank George for looking out for him and his family. But if you think all $14 million was tax-free, you're absolutely wrong. According to tax policies and laws, there were plenty of hefty price tags that came with the gift. $3.4 million to be exact. But don't worry, generous George footed the bill and paid for the taxes and expenses to make it a truly tax-free $1 million in cash. What a guy. Randy Cooper's story is the only reason why the world found out about George's very generous and private gift. Even to this day, magazines outlets are trying to uncover who are the 13 friends in the A-listers friend group. And while we think some of them could be childhood friends or those pals who are not in the entertainment business world, let's take a couple guesses at some of the other friends who they might be. We got Brad Pitt. If you haven't seen Ocean's 11, then first of all, you're under a rock because that movie is amazing. George and Brad play best friends in the movie and the heist, but they are also really close friends in real life too. George and Brad go back almost 3 decades, and the actors have been at each other's side during the most important moments in their life, like weddings, birthdays, anniversary, award ceremonies. The two even vacation together, so it's safe to say that Brad and George have a very special relationship. And while the Academy Award-winning actor and Fight Club legend Tyler Durden star has millions of his own, it wouldn't be such a bad thing to receive a gift from another millionaire who happens to be one of your best friends. Another Ocean's 11 star and George's close friend is Matt Damon. Apart from Brad Pitt, Matt is an actor who is very closely associated with George. The two have starred in several movies together, and Matt even remembers the numerous times that George has pranked him and his family. In one radio interview, Matt opened up about the incident that happened at the Golden Globe Awards. During one of the monologues with Tina Fey, she made a remark about how Matt Damon was equivalent to a garbage man at the award ceremony. While the moment was hilarious in itself and clearly a joke, George decided to take the opportunity and take it to the next level for being a prankster. Matt explained how he received an apology response letter from Tina Fey along with a large fruit basket. The thing is, Matt never sent a letter in the first place. It was all George Clooney. Watch this hilarious interview and see how proud George is of his genius prank.
And then I go to letter number 2, and it says, if by chance you didn't send us that letter and it was from George Clooney, please let him know that you got to get up a little earlier in the day to fool a couple girls like us.
She said we're grown-ass comedians.
We're grown-ass comedians.
Another A-lister that we suspect is Julia Roberts. The gorgeous Julia Roberts is no stranger to George Clooney and his kind ways. The Pretty Woman actress has been a Hollywood legend as long as George has, and the pair are a true iconic match even though they're not romantically involved. The two even played a married couple on Ocean's 11 and 12. George and Julia sat down with Vanity Fair to tell their story of how they met. Even though those two were consistently heard as having rumors of their great friendship and their great appearance together, they actually never even met, which was weird. The Hollywood legend finally met in 2000 when George asked Julia if she would play his wife in the movies. The rest is history. From this video, you see how vibrant and natural their chemistry is, proving that George is a great friend from all sides. Julia even admits herself that George is one of the most generous, humble, and kind people in Hollywood. Not only on screen, but off screen, which is the most important part. Check this out.
Yeah,
Oh,
not that long ago, really.
it's not.
It seems well,
Feels like a
a
lifetime.
lot longer than that.
That's how we function, is knowing that this is a team and a family and a group.
And yet another gorgeous actress on George Clooney's list of close friends is the Australian superstar Nicole Kidman. The Oscar winner has been friends with George now for many years, and the two have shared some very special memories. It's been revealed that George had made a very interesting bet with Nicole back in the day. A little over 20 years ago, Nicole and Clooney made a bet of $10,000 that George would be single without children by the time he hit 40. That, of course, turned out to be true, as George was known to be Hollywood's most watched bachelor. Even though the Ocean's 11 star had several public relationships, no woman could come close to being Mrs. Clooney. Well, no woman except Amal Clooney. So when George hit 40, he called up his Australian friend to have her pay up for the debt that was rightfully his. Nicole, being the mature woman she is, gave up the $10,000 because she lost a bet. And while we're not sure if Nicole and George are still this close today, it would be very nice for him to pay back that $10K that she had lost. Well, that's it for our guesses, and that's it for this video. No matter who the friends are in this special boys group, one thing is for sure, George is an amazing actor, great husband and father, and most importantly, a one-of-a-kind guy that comes around once in a lifetime. What would you do if you had $1 million in cash and George gave it to you? Would you buy a new car? Would you buy a new house, or would you invest it? Well, let us know down below in the comment section, and that's it. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Turn on your post notifications and follow us if you're on Facebook. Take care for now. Peace.